There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV.
Yes, now people. Bless now people. Bada bing, bada bong. There's Rocksteady King of the Pit TV. I just listened to Carcass's second album. Second studio record. It was entitled Symphonies of Sickness, which I personally believe is a great album title. I really like the album title. Generally speaking, the album we listened to was the full dynamic range mix, so I don't know as to when that was released. But the alternate artwork tracks were definitely sounding a lot crispier and better than the tunes with the full album artwork. The original album artwork, although the original album artwork is a lot better, it's probably going to give me some slack in regards to age restricting those particular videos. So, swings and roundabouts, really. But there's 10 tunes on this record. I believe there was a 2008 release later on down the line where they threw a few extra tunes on. We didn't listen to that. We listened to the original track listing. It's enough material. It's definitely enough material. Any more than 10 tracks would probably be overkill, in my opinion. 8 tracks on this particular record, I think quite possibly might be too less, given, we're not really differentiating track by track. If it was a unique 8-track Metallica, as I always set Metallica as the standard as far as metal and differentiation of track ideas are concerned. But if it was like Metallica 8 tunes, completely different approach, different concepts, ideas, and so on and so forth, then it'd be enough. But considering we sort of just stay within a particular set of boundaries on this record, I do think that 10 is good enough. I don't have a favourite track on the record. They're all very consistent. I've listened to this not so far off of listening to Napalm Death's third record, so both of these bands have taken a trip from pioneering an incredibly intense sound to maturing into a more structured and consistent sound. I mean, who would have known that Carcass in their second record would be doing 10 tracks, averaging out at 4 minutes a track? I didn't see that coming, but that is what happened. As opposed to Napalm Death, sort of still flirting in the realms of hardcore punk music, Carcass is just metal. It is just metal. There's near to no punk in this music whatsoever. I mean, there is an attitude, but as far as the soundscape that's created, it's just metal. Vocally, we've still got them toilet guttural vocals, which is gore grind, let's be fair, full stop. That is gore grind. So they're cool, but you can't listen to an entire record full of them vocals. It just gets so boring so fast. So there's a lot of variation with the vocal line. I prefer the more grim, not shrieked, but sort of like black metal-esque vocals that they know what they're doing because they're through reverb. They drenched them particular vocals in reverb as opposed to like the more direct traditional death metal vocals, which were lacking of such. I like them vocals. They're a little more coherent. You could hear a little bit of lyrical content in there. They're a bit stronger. They worked better with the instrumental as opposed to like the extremity of the gargled vocals. Although, you can't have Carcass without them because otherwise what would Gore Grind be without them vocals? I don't know if Carcass created this whole concept, but of course we have the long-winded, gory song titles, which I'm not going to speak on Carcass, but for the bands that came from there on and started doing this thing, I think it does come with an air of pseudo-intellectualism, because some of it just sounds like they're putting long words together just for the sake of it, and personally I can't stand that. I like something to just be short and snappy with a ring to it. You know what I mean? Because otherwise it completely devalues the music as it devalues the track at hand. Because you can't promote it first and foremost. And secondly, it just sort of adds this novelty value to the music, which just isn't good enough. It's not good enough. With death metal generally, like with the gruesome lyrics, at least it just tells you there and then, like, what the track is about, lyrically speaking. And it might be a bit grim and gruesome, but it tells a story. Here, it's just like, embryonic necropsy and devourment, swarming vulgar mass of infected virulency. Like, I could do without all of that crap. I hate it. I hate it. So that being said, I'll let Carcass off because they might very well be the first to have established that style of things, and I can't hate on them being unique and doing that if that was the case, or at least definitely at the forefront of creating that element that continued on through extreme gore music. Instrumentally speaking, guitar tones did what they did. It was very death metal. We had the blasts come in and a lot of noisy sections, which sort of was the whole gore grind thing, right? The whole grind element of things. But generally speaking, it was pretty death metal instrumentally. Near to no punk. Instrumentally, I didn't think the musicians were amazing. You know what I mean? They did the job well. They could obviously play their instruments well. But there was no, complete finesse with the instrumental capabilities of the band. It was just, more so I would say down to the tones and the sound engineering and what created the Carcass sound, as opposed to the actual playing capabilities and writing of the band. That's what I think. That being said, I can't remember what I gave Napalm Death's third record, which is where they went death metal. I heard that the other day. I've even forgot the title of it at this point. Harmony Corruption, it was entitled. That was a lot better than this record, in my opinion. I preferred that a lot more. So I don't remember what I rated that, but as far as this out of 10, I'll give this record a 4 out of 10. I'll put respect on Carcass for who they are and what they did, but as for my personal opinion, I'm never going to return back to this record. It was just, I can dispose of this album. I'm not fussed about it. I'm really not fussed about it. Same with the debut, in all honesty. The debut was fantastic as far as what it created. Incredibly unique. But, as far as the listening value, you know what I mean? Once the novelty's over and done, there's more pleasing bands to listen to, even within the realms of extremity, So that being said, I'm signing out, people. I'll see you on the flip side. If you do want me to check out more Carcass, please let me know, because I do know that they take a few twists and turns. Somebody in the comments even referenced them being pioneers of melodic death metal, which I find very interesting. So if I must go further on in the discography, if the people are there to listen, then I will do so. I'm signing out, people. Peace.